Hi, this is Queenie Yu. I'm with Elizabeth Crowe, York Catholic District School Board trustee who is running again. Elizabeth, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thanks for inviting me today.
So, Elizabeth, you're running for trustee. Could you tell us about the role of religion in your life?
I have been Catholic all of my life, and especially once I had a family and I wanted to baptize my children, it was a decision my husband and I made very easily to send our kids to Catholic school. I was involved in the parish, helping do coffee and stuff like that. But I found that actually being a trustee, I have become more aware of my faith because there are a lot of opportunities for professional development for trustees, both through the Archdiocese and the Ontario Catholic School Trustees Association.
Great. What parish do you go to, and could you explain your involvement?
Okay, so my parish, I actually live in Schaumburg, and my parish is St. Patrick Parish with Father Ignacio. My involvement right now is just predominantly going to Mass and attending some parish functions. I also try to attend functions at the various parishes that I represent because I represent Aurora, King, and Stouffville. So there's also Sacred Heart, St. Mary's, and St. Mark's Parish. And I try to go to some of their special events. I find that this is my 19th year as chair of the board, and I find that I spent a lot of time, evenings and sometimes even weekends, doing that. And I find that's my vocation in life. And so once I stop being a trustee, maybe I'll get a little bit more involved. But I am actually excited in March. I'm planning to go. It's a trip that's been delayed by 3 years due to COVID, but the parish, we're all going to visit Israel. So that will be a great opportunity.
How exciting, Israel.
Very exciting. Taking my daughter too. So it will be a great trip.
Great. There's a high school under construction in Stouffville. What will be its name, and when will it open?
I'm sorry, you blanked for a bit, but I think you said the high school in Stouffville. So the name of the high school is St. Catherine Drexel. The anticipated opening is this coming September, and we're going to be opening up with a 7, an 8, a 9, and possibly grade 10. Staff is working on surveying the current grade 9 students that are attending St. Brother Andre to see if they want to come back to Stouffville for their grade 10 year.
Okay. What main concerns will you address for the people of Stouffville who attend Catholic primary schools?
Um, there's a lot of anxiety right now in Stouffville, and so my biggest concern is to ensure there's a smooth transition. Our the new high school will be a 7 to 12 model. We have that currently at Our Lady of the Lake Catholic College School in Keswick. And we've had that program since 2000. And the principal that will be opening St. Catherine Drexel, Dan Bruni, he's currently the principal at Our Lady of the Lake. He's up there learning the model. But I think parents are really concerned about, how does the 7 and 8, how do the 8 structure work into a high school model? And I'm working with staff to try to get some information evenings for parents coming up in the next few months. Plus, I think there's a need to have a lot of involvement with parents. And I think as my role as trustee would be to ensure that parental voice is heard because there's concerns because for this coming June, the 3 elementary schools will have, their grade 6s and their 7s and their 8s will be completing their education at their elementary schools. So there's a lot of questions that are out there, and we're trying to get as much information out. On top of that, once that happens, there'll be things to be done. Things like, St. Brendan, they hopefully will get some of their portables removed. St. Bridget, their asphalt in the back really, really needs some repaving. So I'd like to advocate for that. But that's, if I get reelected, those are my priorities in the physical part of the building. And I recently met Father Tad, the new priest at St. Mark's in Stouffville. I went to the opening mass at St. Patrick's. Sorry, I apologize for that. At St. Mark's church, St. Mark's School was there, and I look forward to working with him. And he seems very excited to be working with the schools. So getting to know the priest is also a priority.
How will you engage and empower our parents to participate in the decision-making process? And what about our students?
Oh, well, that's two different questions. So, first of all, I'm a great advocate of engagement of parents and students. And it's hard though, because most parents are both work these days, and they get swamped with emails and I recognize that, but I think we need to be creative in finding ways that we reach out to people, and either whether just simply surveys or getting them involved in their Catholic school councils and other events at their schools. Research has shown that engaged parents lead to greater student achievement. So it's very important that parents feel welcome at their schools. I've been going to some curriculum nights, and everybody is so excited to be back. So we need to keep up those conversations for parents. As far as students, many years ago, I advocated for a student government policy, and part of that was also to establish leadership opportunities at the elementary level as well. We have two student trustees that sit at our board table, and I've always been amazed on how well spoken and well versed they are at the issues that come to the table, and we all take their comments very seriously. And I that as a trustee, I want to ensure that this continues and that students have a voice at our board tables as well as in our schools.
Could you talk about our school's relationship to St. Mark's Church and how could it be improved?
Well, I touched on that briefly. We have been really blessed to have some wonderful priests, Father Michael most recently at St. Mark's, and now we have Father Tad, who is as I said, very excited to start working with the schools. Um, I mean, I'm not sure there's a need for a lot of improvement, but I think what we can do is we can increase the communication, because we have to be honest. Most families don't attend church regularly, and I think we can work together with the parish to improve attendance at mass and to have the priest more visible at the schools. They're already visiting our schools and meeting with the classes and holding masses, and but maybe there's some strategies that we can do to maybe do some joint events with the parish and the schools to further strengthen that and get the parents and their children to come to mass, not just during their sacramental years. And this is not just an issue at St. Mark's. This is an issue everywhere right now. Especially with COVID, a lot of people actually haven't returned back to church, and we all have to work together. I'd like to talk to Father Tad and see if we can set up a little corner in the bulletin where the principals can submit information about events happening at their schools that parishioners can be aware of, welcome to attend as well. That I think we just need to take these little steps and build on what we already have to make it great.
When you advocate on behalf of our Stouffville parents and students, what will be the priorities?
Well, as I think I've really mentioned some of them already, but there's a few other issues that are always that always come up and they're very important. And it's not just Stouffville. As a trustee, we are voted to represent the board. There just really hasn't been enough special education funding from the government, and so we will continue to advocate for more funding and to ensure that there's programs out there. As well, I think we need to take a serious look at equity and diversity. You know, we've been talking a lot about anti-Black racism as well as bringing Indigenous programs. I think another part of conversation that has to go in is anti-Asian racism as well. And I think that's something, these things will have to come out of our strategic plan. The board is currently in the last year of our plan, and what we're going to be doing is developing a new plan for 2023 to 2028. And we're looking for a consultation from all stakeholders, parents, parishes, students, and we want their input on what they want to see as our goals for the next 5 years. And I think a lot of that will come up through those goals. And we need to make sure that our students feel safe, they don't feel bullied in our schools, that they feel welcome, that they feel that they can learn in an environment that is welcoming. And I think that we already do a lot of that, but there's always room for improvement. So that's two different. So those are the few things that need to be advocated for at a board level that will impact our Stouffville schools.
What would you like to say to undecided voters?
Oh, well, I think to undecided voters, I ask that you support me because, you know, I've been a trustee for a lot of years, since 1994. And, you know, people say maybe it's time for change. But at this point in time, I don't think it's time for change with all the changes that are happening in the community. I think you need a trustee that is familiar with the bureaucracy that exists at the board office and understands, you know, who is responsible for what and is able to represent the community and get things done.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Is there anything else you
Thank
would
you,
like to
Queen.
say?
No, I really appreciate this opportunity. It's not very often that we trustee candidates get an opportunity to speak to the voters. There's a lot of focus on mayors and councillors, and we often get, you know, people go to the ballot and don't even realize who we are or what we stand for. So providing this opportunity for us is wonderful. So thank you to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.